Is Ukraine about to surrender? It actually appears inevitable. We're going to take a look at the latest surrounding Ukraine. We're going to see how even the legacy media is starting to admit things aren't looking very good for the Zelensky regime. And make sure to stick with me at the very end of this video when I'll reveal what we can expect to happen in the coming days. You are not going to want to miss this. The Russian government has officially delivered an ultimatum to the Zelensky regime in Ukraine: surrender or be destroyed. The ultimatum came directly from Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, saying, quote, "Our proposals for the demilitarization and denazification of the territories controlled by the Zelensky regime, the elimination of threats to Russia's security emanating from there, including our new lands, are well known to the enemy. The point is simple: fulfill them for your own good. Otherwise, the issue will be decided by the Russian army." Now, this is really a rather ominous warning. His reference to Russia's, quote, new lands refers, of course, to the four formerly Ukrainian regions that Russia annexed back in September. These were the two breakaway republics in the Ukrainian Donbass region, Donetsk and Lugansk, as well as the regions of Kherson and Zaporozhye. They all held a number of referendums a few months back, very similar to what Crimea did several years back, and they, like Crimea, officially joined the Russian Federation. So Russia sees these now 5 regions as an integral part of Russia, and any and all military offenses against those regions have and are being treated as an invasion of the territorial integrity of Russia itself. And so as part of the surrendering demands, Ukraine is going to have to recognize those regions and the fact that they've been lost forever. They're never coming back to Ukraine, which of course stands in stark contrast to Zelensky's frankly absurd rhetoric that Ukraine isn't just going to take back the 4 recently annexed regions. Ukraine's going all the way, and they're going to take back Crimea as well. So with that posture in place, which of course is making Zelensky very, very rich, Lavrov has promised that the Russian military will then bring an inevitable end to this, and it will be an end that's completely on Russia's terms. So what is he talking about there? Well, as has been widely reported, there is a massive buildup of Russian forces going on inside Belarus, north of Ukraine. At the same time, a massive buildup of new Russian recruits has been going on at the Ukrainian eastern border. It's hard to estimate the size, but Colonel Doug McGregor is estimating the buildup involves upwards of about 700,000 Russian troops. Now, keep in mind, at best, Ukraine is down to about 100,000 troops, if that. A new Russian general has been brought in, General Surovikin, to oversee the military operations. He's been dubbed General Armageddon by the Russian media because of his propensity towards brutality in war. And he's been brought in to send a clear message that a massive, utterly massive, no-holds-barred offensive is coming that is aimed to decisively and end this conflict once and for all. And so when all is said and done, it does look like we're just waiting for General Surovikin to give the order of attack. In the meantime, an unrelenting barrage of Russian missiles have been inflicting catastrophic damage to the basic infrastructure of Ukraine, both civilian as well as military. It's being reported that Ukrainian command and control is being annihilated, power grids, bridges, roads, the whole of transportation infrastructure, and even the mayor of Kiev is warning his citizens that they need to be prepared to abandon the city. We're talking mass evacuations going westward because there's simply no guarantee that Russian offenses are not going to level the capital city. The Washington Post is admitting that the Ukrainian economy is in absolute ruins, and despite an unprecedented amount of blatant pro-Ukrainian propaganda, which, if even 20% of it were true, should have ended Russia months ago, despite all of this absurd orchestrated banter, even Zelensky's Christmas message revealed that Ukraine was indeed struggling with what he called a loss of hope in all of this. What's really happening in Ukraine is exactly what we're about to find out. But first, I do want to invite all of you to join my exclusive Insiders Club for a censorship-free video platform where I discuss topics I can't share on YouTube. In fact, you'll have the opportunity to ask the one and only Mike Lindell your questions for our very first private live stream of the new year. That's right. Just click on that link below and join our Insiders Club today. And as a special Christmas offer, just sign up now and you'll get 14-day free trial to try it out. Plus, you get several bonus resources I'll add on as a thank you for joining my Insiders Club community. So don't wait. Click on that link below or go to insidersclub.turleytalks.com right now and join me, Mike Lindell, and thousands of patriots around the world. That's insidersclub.turleytalks.com. Here's Colonel Doug Macgregor, who served as an advisor during the Trump administration. Here's his assessment of how to rightly think about what's happening as we speak in Ukraine.
First of all, let's understand that I don't think anybody in their right mind wants a direct military confrontation with Russia. The problem is that we in the West do not see Russia as Russia is. We see it through this distorting lens. We either impute to it Soviet-like attributes or evil attributes, whatever you want to call it. We tend to view it through the lens of our own notion of economic power and wealth. And you reach utterly false assumptions about Russia. Assumption number one, Russia is really weak. Russia can't stay the course. All we have to do is double down and we'll attrit them. We'll wear them out. No, it's the exact opposite. That's an impossibility, as they've demonstrated already economically. Secondly, their military is no good. It's no good because when they came in, they were soft. They didn't come in hard. They didn't do very well. They seem to have been defeated, all of which is erroneous nonsense, completely misunderstands what Putin was about, what the Russians were trying to achieve. So they believe in their heart of hearts that if we were to show up on the battlefield in Western Ukraine, cross the Polish border with Polish allies, maybe some Romanian forces too, that the Russians would be so intimidated and so afraid that they would immediately say, stop, let's stop, please don't come into this. And they're wrong. They're very wrong. In fact, there's a real appetite in Russia, to be perfectly blunt with you, to do real damage to our forces if they get the opportunity. So I think you've got a misapprehension of the danger and the level of response that it will elicit. And now we have a much larger, very different Russian army in the field. This is now a wartime theater. Ukraine is no longer being treated with kid gloves. Initially, they said, no, the Ukrainians are our brother Slavs. We don't want to harm Ukrainians. We don't want to do damage to infrastructure. We want to get along so that we can build a new peace. That's gone. The Russians now have decided there is no way to negotiate an end to this. No one will negotiate in good faith. Therefore, we must crush the enemy. That's what's coming.
So there you have it. I mean, from one of the best war historians and strategists out there, Colonel Doug Macgregor, and he's not alone. So much of what we're hearing about Russia really is just a mirror reading of what's actually happening, a reverse image. So Russia's intentional original soft war, a term we get from weapons analyst Scott Ritter, their original special military operation, which was governed by very strict limitations in terms of troop involvement, weapons, targets, that was exploited by the Western media as a major military loss to Ukraine's more powerful military, even though Russia in the end annexed a significant portion of eastern Ukraine. Or how Russia's strategic economic decoupling from the West was reinterpreted as Russia's economic collapse, even though the Russian economy is actually doing better today than it was before the war. I mean, we could go on and on. In November, just a few weeks back, Newsweek told us that Russia was running out of missiles, which is strange because we were told the exact same thing back in March, months ago. Where are all these missiles coming from? Oh, wait a minute. Russia's been preparing for this moment for over 10 years. There is no missiles shortage. What do you know? Oh, well, just keep believing the absurdly lopsided propaganda you're being force-fed by the legacy media. Look, in the end, if Putin really does deliver the death blow and crush Ukraine like it looks like he's about to do, Frankly, I don't know how the West, particularly the Western media, in any way can save face in all of this. I don't know how NATO saves face. I don't know how the Biden administration or the clapping seals in both parties in Congress can save face after wasting hundreds of billions of dollars on all of this. If McGregor's analysis is right, it looks like Ukraine's surrender is inevitable. We can only hope the corrupt elite currently governing the West are next. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on Kari Lake going absolutely scorched earth on Katie Hobbs. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.